most common pieces of advice that we give people is to have an in-home survey. Today I want to talk a little bit about how do you make the most of that time once you have a sales representative from a moving company out to your residence.
It's a great question. I think first off, if you're moving, you're making your time available, and I'm assuming that's important to you. So that let's make the best of it. So, the moving company's coming out with their person. They're probably driving out to your location. And, it's a time really of sharing. And the first thing would be have your house organized and make sure you show the whole house and make sure you know what might be going, what might not be going. And if you're not sure, be honest. Share with the consultant that comes into the home so that they can use that information, and then maybe even later on you could at least update them. The worst thing that could happen is that a consultant comes out to the house and spends an hour with you, and then the whole move changes.
Sure.
Now that's a waste of your time and their time.
Is it fair to have a pre-list of questions before the mover arrives?
Yeah, I think that would be great. I mean, for a client to do their homework beforehand, again, is only going to make things less stressful for both parties during that meeting at the home. Obviously the consultant will have questions for the client, but this is really the client's opportunity to say, here's what I want. Here's what my needs are. And that could be around pickup day, delivery day. It could be that maybe they're moving into an apartment building that has certain requirements for move-in. All of that information that they can give to the moving company up front is important. The other important thing to note is, a lot of folks might get more than one estimate. That's okay. The key is to make sure that you give the same information to each moving company you're speaking with, so that then at the end you can actually make an informed decision and know that the quotes you're looking at are comparing the same services.
Sure. This might be a little bit off the cuff question, but is it fair to share estimates with different movers during that survey?
I think that's really an individual decision on how you want to handle that piece of it. Certainly, I'm sure clients do, and I'm sure other clients feel like, hey, that's my private information, and I don't want to share that. So, it is important though to make sure, as the client, that you understand the moving estimates and the services that each moving company might be providing, because we've certainly seen instances where we have one quote that's really high and maybe another quote that's really low. But there is an explanation usually that one has incorporated a lot more services that they thought the customer wanted versus maybe another one that said, well, the customer's really concerned about the cheapest price I could possibly give.
Sure, sure. So kind of that apples to apples comparison.
Absolutely. I mean, that's key. And that can be confusing. So sometimes maybe it's in the best interest as a client to share with a mover and put it out there so that the moving company could give you the feedback as to maybe where the differences are between the two estimates.
Right, right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, obviously the first way to reduce the stress of a move is to make sure that you have something pretty clear up front in terms of your estimate and the services and everything. So
absolutely. I mean, it's going to save a lot of stress for you and for the moving company on move day. Again, like anything, doing your homework up front, being prepared, probably going to give you a great end result.
That's some great advice. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Have a great day.